Giddens join us live in the studio. What's good, bro? How you doing? Welcome.
Welcome.
What's up, Ghana?
Yeah. Okay, so now that you say that, are you fully Ghanaian? Half.
Yeah, you can see it in my complexion. My dad was a German, and my mom was from here.
Okay.
Oh man. So I'm tempted to ask. This maybe personal or family,
Let's
but
go.
which side do you fall more on? Dad's side or mom's side?
I look like mom.
Okay.
I look like mom, but
they
say my
like
nose
dad.
is dad's, and I move like dad.
And where are you based? Are you based more in Ghana or are you more German?
I have
Or American?
assets on both grounds.
Okay.
I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in between. Mitekasano, so I also speak Chi. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean I always feel that's a perfect combination to have a foreign dad and a Ghanaian mom because mom infuses you.
Yeah. They say boy's best friend is the mom.
Yeah.
Which culture did you grow up more?
So I spent my first 12, 13 years in Ghana, and then we moved to Germany. But I've come back almost annually. So. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's
But
good.
I've been under the radar.
Okay, then that's good. That's good. So even before we check out the music, which kind of music have you been influenced?
So to kind of like preserve my cultural background and the love for hip hop. At the beginning, I used to listen to a lot of hip hop in Germany, not German hip hop,
but just hip hop.
Hip hop in general. So like 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang. I used to listen to. Pardon? Das Effects. I used to listen to MF Doom a lot too as well. So to pick up rhyme structure and all that kind of stuff.
Any reason why you pick up the old school than maybe new rappers?
I think it's just you learn from the OGs and you respect the OGs, but then you kind of like move and try to build your own feeling, your own place in music. I think.
How did you melt into music?
I think it's just being extroverted, just enjoying music in general.
You look like
I think
a party
everyone.
freak.
Yeah.
You look like somebody who parties a lot.
Yeah, bro.
We're gonna come there.
We're gonna come there. From Notting Hill Carnival in London to Ibiza to I've done it.
Man, chill.
So being an artist, what would you say music means to you? And then also, how have you grown into the music?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's my safe space. I think there's everything that I can say in a musical context. And I've grown into it by embracing a lot of the cultures and stuff that I've seen traveling, being in the States for business sometimes, being in Ghana. Berlin is very vibrant, even though it's more house and techno music. You get a lot of influence from what the people actually dig. So I would say it's a melting pot actually for me musically.
Okay.
When you mentioned Berlin, just reminds me of an experience.
Oh, you've been to Berlin?
At Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, yeah. Well,
and
similar. They share musically. They share a lot because both are techno scenes.
Oh, so I was just going to ask about what's the music scene there like?
So if you go back a little bit, Frankfurt was really known for Sven Fate and the Cocoon era. So basically those were like these hardcore techno and house parties. And then these guys started making music with people like David Guetta, Carl Cox. They would come to Düsseldorf, where I used to spend some time and play at different venues. That was Kiesgrube, all those places. And then I would say the Berlin scene was a little more techie, a little more darker, a little more gritty. But of course, artists move around. And you actually get to have a lot of exposure everywhere. So
have you done collaborations with German artists? I want to be specific on that.
German speaking specifically, or German producing?
Well, okay, so both. Since you've just divided into
I wouldn't say anyone that is like up there. I just recently released 2 songs with Frizzo, who is also from Ghana. But based in Düsseldorf, and shout out to Frizzo.
Can you tell us about the music scene in Germany, like the Ghanaian music scene?
Oh, come on,
Germany specifically. Because, we kind of have an idea, how America or UK is, because they also have their awards scheme, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I've heard a Ghana Music Awards Germany
No.
as of yet. So
No,
just
no.
take us through.
I would
how
say
that-
it's a diaspora kind of community that has their spaces in parties and different types of events. So you've got African food festivals that are huge, where basically the whole community draws people from outside into that, and that's where the artists have their stages. There are Afro house parties. So basically it's called Afro House as a like collective.
Okay.
And they basically have the platform to give diasporans the feel. There's piano stuff coming up, etc. So I would say what we used to be kind of fringe, but now you see the blend of the influence of African music spread itself through the cities.
In this spread that's happening, is it more a journey to define a new kind of sound, or are these artists looking back at West Africa and trying to connect with what's going on here?
Well, I would say both is happening. It depends on which artist you talk to. Like, for instance, I know, I'm name dropping again, sorry, Ra and the Swag Band, they've played with Erykah Badu and bigger artists in Berlin. He's currently doing a project with the Rough Cats, where they're embracing high life and music that maybe Fela Kuti used to make. So they play a version of Zombie, for instance, on stage. So you have these people who are, of course, drawing from the old stuff. And then you have a lot of artists also, embracing and
creating a new fusion.
Creating a new fusion, exactly. And that's also my path, basically, because I would say, going to Germany, beginning of 2000, there wasn't really a lot of hip hop or black music in Germany that I could really relate to. So I was more with the hip hop stuff, So I could, like I said, the artists that I dropped, and that helped me build my strength and my, I would say, identity before. But then, you always have the issue with authenticity. And just emulating an American sound makes it really difficult to be authentic. So
exactly. Talking about authenticity, I had to be careful on that.
Oh.
There's this whole Bogger high life music, which is said that a lot of the high life music that was being done here, when it sort of went beyond borders. Germany was one of the places that the Ghanaian community created that Bogger high life music, and all. I don't know about its existence now, but in any way, did you come across that genre of music, there? Or your friends in your community didn't allow you to get into it? Okay.
No, I would say sometimes, things are being portrayed from where it's happening to Africa.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't want to, step on anyone's turf.
I get you.
I just know from my perspective, I will always try to be myself and to be as authentic as possible. Some people might be, I would say 100, but maybe 150%, somewhere that's larger than life.
Yeah.
And that might create images that maybe people would try to emulate, but that don't really have footing in reality. But I mean, that's what artistry is about, right? You are always creating your artist persona, and being larger than life. Because I mean, look at us sitting here, our swag. That's part of the whole thing,
let's now talk the music you've released, so far. Have you worked on albums, EPs? Before we really talk about the new one.
No, so looking at metrics, etc., I'm focusing on singles right now. So just basically being more consistent in releasing. And I think, like, if you look at the way people consume music nowadays, I think playlisting is more interesting. So I might pick one from here,
and there,
So that's why I focused on that, just to be consistent. But I'm working on EP or album length stuff right now.
And that'll be your first official.
First official is Giddens. I used to have other projects. So I used to be in the background doing songwriting. I've done ads. I've done a lot of stuff as ghostwriter, etc. Yeah, so I've worked in the industry in the past, but I was kind of like at that point where I said, you know what, I now know who I am fully, and I want to embrace this. So let me just start working on a new project.
How long has this music journey been for you? Also, because you said that you've done the whole songwriting thing.
I'd say 10 years. 10 years. I've been in this. So I used to be in the Alps a lot. So France, Austria, Switzerland, we'd get booked by organizations that wanted us to give more of the black and hip hop flavor instead of, they call it après-ski music, which means like, kind of folk music that's been tuned to house for people to just go crazy and consume alcohol.
Oh.
So I'd be like in France in some hut on the mountains, and we'd set up a DJ set, and you have like 1,000 people. And they'd all be in their snow gear, and they'd party like crazy.
Wow.
And we'd be on the microphone doing stuff like that. So I used to do those things back in the day. And I was introduced to this by a group of friends who they wanted an MC who would be able to represent. So I've done a lot of things in the music.
Let me put this question right. The world is out there to explore.
Yeah.
So is Ghana. Ghana is part of the world, so it's also
Yeah.
good to explore. What makes you want to connect back here when there's so much also out there, including here? Just I have to be very careful how I put this question. There's so much out there to find out and explore. It seems you've already done
quite a lot.
Yeah. No, I think first of all, I'm super happy for my privilege of having this experience. But at the same time, I feel you have to ground yourself, and I think Ghana is earth. It's like it grounds you a lot in terms of raw life, raw taste, etc. And I think that's one of the things. Trying to find home is one of the things that. Since I departed when I was 12, 13, I've been in many cities in Germany. And I now feel like Berlin has become home that I chose. But there are just so many people that I know from childhood experiences that are still based here. And I feel connecting to that is very important.
Very important.
Very important.
Good. So before the song we're about to drop, I want to know what you had released prior to that.
So I did different things. So like I said, I come from hip hop.
Yeah.
So before that, I was more on the storytelling side of things.
Okay.
So topics of racism, fitting in, being between two cultures. That was the main focus, and music was more the vehicle. But when I party, when I have fun, there's just a different sound that I'm used to. And I think blending these sounds and these different influences is what makes you unique. And it's, of course, a positioning thing, too, as well. I mean, no one wants me to sound like someone else. Here, right?
Fun question. That's even just a question. Are you the type that, woke up the following morning after the party, or you weren't home and everybody woke up and they were like, yo, we partied crazy last night, Charlie. Look at me now.
That happened. Definitely.
And I imagine which country that happened in.
Oh, dude. Many.
A long list.
Yeah. We are following your snaps henceforth, so please keep us. How do we check out on socials? I know that would have been my last question, but.
So it's Giddens, Giddens 030, TikTok. I'm building right now. I'm quite frequently on Instagram. It's just I just feel like it's more like a poetry book. You can actually, and Instagram is TikTok. I'm using more to, of course, explore new audiences, etc.
Miss Honolulu.
Yeah,
tell us about it.
It's actually a metaphor for freedom and for expression. But also there is that feeling in there, meeting someone that's special on your trip, having this fling or this really interesting connection, but then you kind of like get back to reality, and reality means doing yourself, growing, etc. And I think those relationships, every one of us has experienced that kind of.
I see you were taking our mind more to lyrical content. Listen to it. Yeah, I was waiting to see if I was going to the Caribbean. To see that.
But that's even understandable because it has that vibe of bodies dancing and
that's
it's a danceable tune. So
there's West Africa in the production.
Very great. Yeah, loving that jam. So this is brand new music you just dropped, right? Yeah, big up. We're loving that. And and like what Cyril was saying, doing very well to connect back with home. and I'm loving the rhythm in the background.
Thanks.
Shouts going out to the team, in the video. I'm sure do it on the production of the music.
Yeah.
The band you were with.
Oh yeah, no, that's a live band.
Okay.
So basically, their show is they've been there for 12 years. Every
Okay.
Tuesday, consistent, man.
Oh, wow.
These guys are like
Wow.
the craziest professionals you can find in Berlin.
Wow.
And so for the release of the song, I basically teamed up with them and said, let's do a show together. They got me in as a special guest, and then we played like most of the songs, that a lot of unreleased stuff as well. But that song too as well. And man, it was live. It was just crazy. I mean, I've done a lot of open micing also abroad. Like I did that in LA, I did that in Washington, I did that in Berkeley, so close to San Francisco and stuff. But being home, you just have this energy of the crowd around you.
And being
like
home in Ghana, have you already met up with some Ghanaian artists that you want to create music with?
Yeah, I've connected, and I can't say when, but I'm working on stuff with 24DZ, who's also a cousin of mine.
Okay.
Just connecting with others too as well. I mean, Ghanaian Stallion, I know from Berlin, who's also well connected here in Ghana as well. Released a song with Black Sheriff, so
he's on the show.
Yeah,
he's on the show today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Craziest coincidence. I just walk in here and see Alan like.
So for a minute when you mentioned
we know each other.
I was like, wait, hold up, he's just outside.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was just so funny.
Dope,
we didn't plan to meet.
Yeah.
I just walk up in this place and see you guys connect.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Sometimes your stars.
If he owed you, you just found him.
Yes, right.
Giddens, nice one. It's been great you joining us here this morning. Yeah. So what's the future like? What's the plans like? What's next? I know Neem's music is out though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so my working title right now has to do with code switching.
Okay.
What we do, sometimes we just switch into pidgin, sophisticated English or Chi or Ga or whatever. So code switching is right now is like my working title. I don't know what the title is going to be at the end, but yeah, I'm looking at releasing at least 6 to 7 songs this year.
Amazing. Wishing you all the best of this. Yeah, we love it.
That's a lot.
Really appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you so much, Giddens. Yeah, it's been a good one. It's been a good
Shout
one.
out, man.
So
Play the song again.
Yeah, we're dropping the music again.
Okay.
Check it out if you haven't. Go stream it as well. Miss Honolulu, you can't miss out on this one.